Okay, everyone. Today is Sunday, June 22nd, 2025. And today I just want to talk about married partners going into spaces where you don't belong. Particularly for couples who are at a distance from one another, right? Whether you live in a different state, whether you live in a different country, just there is a huge distance, I'm sorry, between the husband and wife. And I'm not talking about boyfriend and girlfriend, I'm talking about committed relationship, husband and wife. And there's a huge span, excuse me, of distance between you two where you are not able to get to each other within a matter of hours. Or it takes hours to get to each other. Invitations that you receive as a wife or as a husband needs to be discerned. I think so many times as married couples, we don't realize how we enter into our marriage still bringing singleness mindsets and approaches to things. So I'm going to talk about I'll talk about my situation. I'll share a little bit. So my husband got an invitation to attend his boss's son's wedding. And my husband let me know early on that, hey, I got this invitation to go. When my husband told me that he got the invitation to go, the energy felt different than when he normally talks about things. And this is something that you need to pay attention to in relationships. And I'm not saying that my husband is doing anything wrong, but the energy in which he communicated to me was different. He just sent me a message. So that alerted my spirit to be more alert, right? Because the energy that he's telling me this is different. And he kind of let me know and then changed his subject. So in my mind, I got, okay, this is a situation where there's a singleness element or a temptation element involved. Don't ask me. That's how my spirit works. So he was like, well, I will call you when I get to the wedding ceremony. So I'm like, okay. Anyway, day goes on, he calls me, and there's so much music in the background. So obviously this is not the wedding ceremony, this is the wedding party. And just that energy, that vibe was there again. And so I'm asking him how he's doing, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm fine, I've been here for 45 minutes already. And I'm like, okay, you've been there 45 minutes. What is a married man doing at a wedding reception? What is he doing there? And just to give you guys a little bit of insight in case you're not thinking of it, right? Most, like my husband and I agree that we're not taking our relationship to clubs. It's just inappropriate for our union. But let me tell you about a wedding, especially a wedding reception. There are a lot of single women at wedding receptions, and there are a lot of single men that go there too. And the premise is, yes, we know these people in common who are getting married, and it's just that good energy, that good vibe of trying to go there to find someone, right, that maybe you can marry. Or some people just go to weddings to hook up. So here my very married husband is at a wedding reception where there is a lot of temptation. Let's keep it 100%. Let's just keep it 100. At wedding receptions, there is an element of temptation because you have very attractive women or maybe they're not so attractive, but they're dressing themselves up to be beautiful with the makeup and these dresses. And the dresses are very eye-catching, right? And so you're a married man. What are you doing there? What are you doing there? And what are you doing there for a number of hours, right? Are you dancing? Are you closing business deals? Do you know the bride and groom? You went there for your boss. Well, how long does it take to greet your boss and leave? Like, what are you doing there all that time? Are you mingling? And so this is where it's important as couples, and especially married couples, to understand and have a little bit more discernment as to the invitations you receive. Thank you for the invitation. Oh, I will let you know if I can make it. Perhaps I can make it. I would love to come. Thank you for the invitation. And then you need to take time to discern whether it is appropriate for you to be in that space. Me, my energy is very exclusive. I say no to just about all invitations I receive because, number one, even before I was married, I just don't want to mingle with a lot of people. There's certain places that I just don't belong in as a spiritual woman, right? I've done those things, drinks after work, and I really like the people, right? My coworkers, but I don't like to drink. And so I've accepted those invitations where I would go after work for drinks and have a terrible time. Why? Because my spiritualness, I don't belong there. So I stopped accepting, let's go for work after drinks. Let's go for drinks after work. And my coworkers pretty much know not to invite me. Now, there have been parties and barbecues and house parties. As a single woman, I didn't go because, one, I don't have anything in common with the people that's going to be there. I also understand that when I go to these places as a single person, there is an element of hookup. So if I'm going to a house party, there's going to be an element of hookup, meeting people. If I go to a barbecue, if I go to an all-white affair or a jazz affair, same thing for a wedding. If I'm going to a wedding without my spouse, well, there's an element of a hookup. And I just think as married couples, we need to be a little bit more discerning. Ladies, just as much as the men, you need to be discerning about the invitations. You can't accept every invitation. And definitely, if you are a partner, if you are married to a partner who likes to please people, that can be an issue. My husband, I feel, is a little bit more of a people pleaser than I am. I have no problem saying no, or I'm not going to make it, or I have something to do. My husband is not that way. He's about making people happy to some extent and, just showing good face. But when that puts our relationship in jeopardy, or, I don't know, it just invites, there's certain places you should not be because you're inviting things that would not necessarily attach to you if you weren't there. So anyway, just want to share that little thought with you guys. As married couples, please discern every invitation that you get, especially when you're asked it, when you know you have to attend something without your spouse. How does that look? My husband sent a picture of himself and he looked delicious. He looked absolutely amazing. And of course, in the picture, he's showing me his wedding ring, which I thought was really funny. But it still doesn't sit right? And he was kind of like trying to reassure me, even though I didn't tell him how I feel. He's going to see this video and know how I felt. But he was trying to reassure me. So why are you trying to reassure me? Why does your spirit need to reassure me? And he was basically saying, I was like, oh, wow, you look amazing. You look wonderful. And he was like, yeah, you made me like this. And this is all for you. No, it's not all for me because I'm in a whole nother continent. It's not for me. And I don't like being patronized, right? So just things to keep in mind. And always communicate with your partner. Like how I'm having this discussion with you guys. Yes, I will need to communicate with my husband and we need to talk this through. Because it's important. Discernment is important. Another thing about karma, when you're a chosen couple, whatever one partner is doing, if it is a little questionable, it will show up in the other partner's environment. So for instance, like I'm telling you how my husband went to this wedding reception, which I don't feel he should be there, because there is temptation, there's an element of singleness there. It's not the place for a married man. So when he told me he was going, after we spoke, I'm leaving my job, and there was a line of men walking, like 4 men walking past me. Every man spoke and smiled at me. And so that let me know, most of the time I walk with my head down. I don't gaze at people. Not my head down like I'm, don't have self-confidence, but I am honoring my husband. I'm not staring in men's faces, right? And I know I'm an attractive female. So I try to do things to keep any sort of miscommunication that could be misconstrued that I was, inviting anyone. So to have these 4 men in a row say hi, 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 I was like, yeah, my husband shouldn't be there, because there are people there. There's that interaction going on there. And then the same thing, I decided to walk to the water after work. And sure enough, on my way to the walk, here we go with these men smiling at me, looking at me. And again, I'm a very attractive female, so that is normal, but there was a bit of a more of an element of I want to connect, I want to make contact with you. And I put my gaze down and I kept walking. Karma is instant in relationships. You must be very careful what you do to your partner when you're together, and also what you're doing, how you're representing your relationship and your partner when you're not together, because those same interactions that you're having, your partner now has an invitation to have those interactions as well. It just brings a whole lot of karma to a relationship that doesn't need to be there. I'm learning too. In my previous relationship, I went through some things and I didn't understand, right? I didn't understand. I had to learn from that relationship that, hey, we're deciding to join together as one. We can't live in the same place. We can't have the same friends. We can't live in the same area that we roamed as single people, because that's not conducive to our marriage and our union. Even our friends have to change. It's unfortunate, but your life has to change because you're married now, and you have to protect the sanctity of your relationship. And it can't be hypocritical, like, oh, we protect the sanctity of our relationship when we're together or when things are obvious temptations. No, there are subtle and sublime temptations as well, and places where you just shouldn't be. Anyway, guys, that's the video for today. My husband did just text me, so I'm going to see what his text says. But again, when you are a long-distance relationship, you have to be very mindful and very considerate of the invitations that you're taking, and exercise a lot of discernment. Until the next video, I'll see you next time.